Okay, so I decided to try my hand at scam baiting, and I decided to respond to a scammer posing as Lloyds Bank.
The email stated, "Attention, Sir! Be informed that Lloyds TSB Bank has received instruction from the Nigerian Government Central Bank of Nigeria to transfer your pending claim to your designated bank account. As their paying bank in Britain, we have accepted their brief and wish to inform you the modalities of your transfer. Be advised to forward urgently your banking information for the immediate communication with your receiving bank and transfer. The reply of this important message should reach this office within 24 hours upon receipt. Help the Lloyds Bank to serve you better, because Lloyds Bank will not be liable for any wrong transfer of fund thereafter. Your urgent response will be highly appreciated. Sincerely yours, Dr. Duke Green." So I decided to respond to Dr. Duke Green, and I should mention that I set up an email specifically for this, called Role Engineer. This is done just so that I don't get any kind of spam to my actual email, and my actual email's details don't get passed on to scammers. So from my Role Engineer email, I responded, "Dear Dr. Duke Green, thank you for contacting me about this. I'd been wondering what was going on with this, so it is a relief to hear from someone from Lloyds Bank. I am happy to send my details, but I'm a little confused. Doesn't Lloyds Bank already have those details? Kind regards, Richard Jordan." And they got back to me. "Attention Roland, we appreciate your response. Please note you have to reconfirm your information immediately. Lloyds Bank won't be held accountable for any complications on your transfer. It is mandatory to confirm to avoid errors. Do reconfirm your account urgently for programming communication with your bank and transfer. Your urgent response will be highly appreciated. Yours faithfully, Mrs. Lillian Jack, for Dr. Duke Green." Ooh, quite a lot of urgency here. So can you guess what I'm going to respond with? "Dear Mrs. Lillian Jack, I have to say, I'm a little confused. Who are you? And does Dr. Duke Green know you're using his email address? Kind regards, Richard Jordan." They got back to me with some useful information, letting me know that Mrs. Lillian Jack is actually Dr. Duke Green's secretary. Now, I probably should have asked, does a Lloyds Bank official need a doctorate? But anyway, they did restate the fact that it was urgent that I forwarded all the necessary information, and to let me know that any other contacts other than Mrs. Lillian or George Lucas are fake. Interesting. George Lucas, I sense a great disturbance. So I responded, "Dear Dr. Duke Green, okay, I suppose you all work in the same office. Is that George Lucas the same as the George Lucas who made Star Wars? Also, please remind me what information it was that you required." And they came back to answer my all-important question, addressing me as Richard this time, and thanking me for my response. "No, this is Dr. George Lucas of Lloyds Bank, okay? See the information request day." And the information request day that they requested, or rather shouted, was bank name and address, bank phobe, fax, SWIFT code, telex code, IBAN number, bank account number, account name, fund expected $, your ID and full name and address. We need these informations to avoid mistake during transfer. Looking forward to hearing from you. Yours truly, Dr. Duke Green. So, that was the type of information that you really shouldn't give to a fake doctor who pretends to work for Lloyds Bank. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to send him some fake but plausible information just to keep the scam going on for a little bit longer. And so I responded, "Thank you for your quick response. Okay, I can provide some of the information right now. However, I will have to ask you what some of these words mean. My bank name is Lloyds Bank. You should know this." And I gave the address of the head Lloyds Bank and reiterated that Lloyds Bank officials should know this. "What is bank phobe? Never heard of that before. Does anyone use fax anymore? The SWIFT code is," and this was just a random SWIFT code I used, or I generated from a website that generates this. "And I don't know what a telex code is, or an IBAN number. And if you could please elaborate. And the bank account number was also generated. And I don't know what an account is. Please explain. Fund expected amount is £2 million. I switched the currency just to see if the scammers would notice anything. And I had to ask what type of ID was valid. And I gave my full fake name of Richard Derek Jordan, and the address I gave was actually a fake address. I mean, it's a real postcode and a real street, but the building is not residential. And asked him to please get back to me as soon as possible so I could provide the rest of the details. And so the scammers came back to me again. Attention, Mr. Richard. This is to inform you that we have programmed your fund process it for transfer to your account. You're required to pay the service charge of your fund transfer, which is £2,500 only. Upon payment of the service charge, including VAT, your fund will be credited to your account. Looking forward to hearing from you. Yours faithfully, Mrs. Lillian Jack. And so I responded, Dear Mrs. Lillian Jack, I understand. Please let me know what to do next so I can pay you the $2,500. Changing the currency again to see if they would notice. And so the scammers came back to me. We appreciate your response. Your fund is ready for transfer. Do urgently transfer the service charge to the below information of a sister bank. And they gave me a real bank account from LLOYDS Bank. So yeah, that's right. Lloyds Bank does not want a transfer to a Lloyds Bank account. They want it to a LLOYDS Bank account. Yeah, sure. Seems legit. Upon payment, forward the receipt of payment to us for confirmation. Looking forward to hearing from you. And in case you're wondering, I did report this bank account to LLOYDS Bank. They did not get back to me, but I assume they wouldn't tell me the outcome either way. But hopefully they did shut it down. And I did not respond to the scammers for quite a while, so I invented a story. Dear Mrs. Lillian Jack, sorry for the late response. I spent much of the bank holiday building my own custom-built cherry picker for my cherry tree. It's grown rather tall recently, and ladders simply aren't going to cut it anymore. I've always had fun building my own devices, and building a cherry picker tree is pretty simple, honestly. I made use of a small compact car and attached an extendable staircase component to the top of it. I do so love to eat cherries. They are my favourite fruit. I even spent time painting my cherry picker cherry red, so I can call it the cherry red cherry picker. Do you have a favourite fruit at all? Thank you for providing these details. I have to ask, are there any other ways I can send the payment at all? And so the scammers, smelling money, said, We appreciate your message. Which other way would you like to send the money? We have the bank Bitcoin wallet where you can send the money. For urgent confirmation, or what do you think? We wait for your response. And so I responded to Mrs. Lillian Jack, Yes, I think I will need to send another way, because when I tried to send the €2,500, it said the account was locked for investigation of fraud and money laundering. Do you know why this happened? Bitcoin does sound good. I am very good at sending Bitcoins. Please send me the Bitcoins address, and I will be able to send you the Bitcoins. Please forgive any spelling errors. I am writing this on my phone, and my fingers are quite large. Kind regards, Richard Jordan. And so the scammers came back to me. Attention, Mr. Roland. Mr. Roland and not Mr. Richard. Strange. We sincerely appreciate your message reference to your demand for the payment. See the Bitcoin wallet address below. They sent me a Bitcoin wallet address, and yes, I did look this up. There was no transfers on this, so I think they just set this up one just for me. Oh, how kind. And the usual ramble of they needed it within 24 hours upon receipt, blah blah blah. And so after giving me a deadline of 24 hours to send them the payment, I decided not to respond to the email at all. And they chased me with a, Attention Mr. Richard, we have sent you the information of the Bitcoin for your payment. Could you inform us the reason for the delay again? Could you tell us why any delay? Because we have prepared everything for your transfer, waiting for your payment. The reply of this important message should reach this office within 2 hours upon receipt. Looking forward to hearing from you. Yours faithfully, Dr. Dugreen. Dr. Dugreen. It's been a while since we've heard from him from his own email account. And I originally was not going to respond for a whole day, but I decided to respond a little bit earlier. Hello, Dr. Dugreen. Oh, how lovely it is to hear from you again. How are you doing? Please accept my sincere apologies for the delay in communication. I was busy yesterday and this morning squeezing lemons into several buckets so I could have homemade lemonade. It is a lovely drink, but we don't have that many places that sell handmade lemonade here, so I resorted to making it myself. Regarding the bits of coins, I'll be sending the payment today around 6 PM. And they got back to me, sending me the Bitcoin wallet address again. And I'll be honest, I don't really know how to use Bitcoin, and I have no interest in using it, so I guess I'm going to have to take some advice from Atomic Shrimp on how to send bits of coin. And so after posting the envelope of the bits of coin, I decided to respond back to the scammers. Hello, Dr. Duke Green. I have sent the 2,500 bits of coin to your wallet address. Please email me back when you receive it. And Dr. Duke Green decided to respond to me. Dear Rolat, thanks for your response. Could you immediately send the screenshot copy of the receipt of payment for evidence and confirmation? Because we have not seen the money. We are waiting for the receipt of payment. Looking forward to hearing from you. Yours faithfully, Dr. Duke Green. But Richard Jordan was confused. Dear Dr. Duke Green, what do you mean screenshot copy and receipt? We are yet to see your payment. Could you please send us your Bitcoin payment receipt for confirmation? Very urgent. Very urgent, eh? Well, I guess that must mean that he does not want me to respond very quickly at all. And so he sent another chaser email. Dear Roland, how are you today? We have not seen the money till now. Please, could you send us the receipt of payment for confirmation? Note your fund is scheduled for today to be transferred. Your urgent response is needed. And so I responded, I'm very well, thank you. I've just been busy making blue rock candy and then using a hammer to smash them up into little crystals. I love crystals, but I always hated how they were inedible. This combines my love of candy with my love of crystals. How are you doing today? I have to say, I am confused why you keep asking for a receipt. I sent it in the post. I'm looking forward to receiving my fund. And Dr. Duke Green came back to me. Thanks for your message. I do not understand you at all. How can you make a payment without having a printout of your credit? That sounds incredible. This is a bank. You do not need to lie. If you had made any payment, it would reflect immediately. This is why we need a proof from you. Mr. Roland, open up and tell me the position of things. Your fund is ready here for transfer to avoid cancellation. I will wait for your urgent response. So can you believe that? Dr. Duke Green accused me of lying. So I decided to send him some proof of my payment. Dear Dr. Duke Green, I'm shocked and appalled at your message. I'm not lying. Are you calling me a liar? I have attached an image as proof of payment. Please view it. The payment of $2,500 bits of coin should arrive in a few days. Maybe you just need to be patient. Not so kind regards, Richard Jordan. And Dr. Duke Green decided to respond to me. I'm not calling you a liar, but the condition as it is now seems not true, because this is a bank that deals with Bitcoin payment every day since year of practice. We have not seen such Bitcoin payment receipt. Also, we have not seen or heard that Bitcoin payment will stay even hours, talk less of days, before confirmation. It's unheard of, my dear. Listen, Bitcoin payment is the fastest confirmation payment ever. It is confirmed in units, and its payment receipt specific. Dear Roland, you are not a liar, but this payment and its receipt is suspicious. If really you went to the post office for the payment, go back there, tell them to send the money, because they never send the money, and also tell them to give you the real payment receipt for confirmation. My dear, if you send the money, we will see it on the system here in 3 minutes. And immediately you send the fee, within 1 hour, we will release your fund to your account and forward to you your payment confirmation slip without delay. Do the payment, trust me, within 1 hour, you will receive your transfer payment confirmation slip. I, Dr. Duke Green, promise. Regards, Dr. Duke Green. And so I said, Dear Dr. Duke Green, thank you. You were quite rude earlier, but I'm glad we sorted this out. I still don't understand. I sent you the 2,500 euros in an envelope, and I sent you the picture of this already. I put it in the post box with a first-class stamp. I can't go to the post office and tell them to do anything, as it's in the post box, not the office. Dr. Duke Green simply said, Dear Richard, I'm highly disappointed at you. And so I decided to respond as if I was really annoyed with Dr. Duke Green. What are you talking about now? You're disappointed in me? First I try to send you payment to the bank account provided, and I get a message that it is locked for fraud and money laundering. Then I send you payment via bits of coin to the address provided. Frankly, if anyone is to be disappointed, it's me. Why are you so incompetent at your job? I thought I was talking to a high-ranking official staff member of Lloyds Bank. Perhaps you are actually a small boy? The money is on its way to you. I've told you this several times. When am I to expect my funds? Regards, Richard Jordan. And so Dr. Duke Green decided to respond to me, My dear Roland, thank you for the insult. I'm a man older than your father. Nevertheless, I was disappointed because I held you at high esteem. How can you tell me that you sent money at the post office? To which address did you make this payment to? You should have a better knowledge about Bitcoin, as you claim to be who you are not. Sign into your Bitcoin wallet, use the bank wallet address. Within 3 confirmations, your payment will be reflected and confirmed. Your fund here is ready. Immediately you send the fee, we will release your fund without delay. Your actions here is what disappointed me. At the moment, your fund is ready, and it is only when you pay the fee we can transfer your fund and give you the transfer slip. Reason with me and get your fund. Bitcoin payment is the easiest payment. Get back to me. Do not let us cancel your already programmed fund. So I decided to respond with, I think we should all calm down before we proceed further. Right, so as I said before, I write down your name and Bitcoin wallet address on the envelope and put the £2,500 notes inside it and put it inside the post box. This should arrive to you quite soon. Royal Mail is a very trustworthy and reliable delivery service. In fact, it's been a couple of days already. Has it arrived now? Please let me know as soon as possible. And so Dr. Duke Green said, I want to ask you, does it mean you don't know what Bitcoin wallet address payment is, or you're just pretending? You're not illiterate to say all this. How on earth will you go to Royal Mail to send Bitcoin and somebody in Royal Mail office collect the money and send the mail in which address? Does that Bitcoin wallet address look like a home address? Look at such a blatant lie. Last time you told me, a director in this bank, you went to send money to the account, you received a message that the account is closed. Who gave you such message? Listen, I believe you have passed the stage of these lies. You lying to me is putting your fund in a big risk. Tell me you don't have such money. I know how to help you release your funds than telling lies. So, he decided to accuse me of lying, when you've all seen the evidence of me sending the bits of coin via a postbox. So I responded with this. Dear Dr. Duke Green, how hard is it for you to understand that postboxes exist? Are you telling me that you, as a senior staff member of Lloyds Bank, has never seen something like this? Please view the attached image. And I attached an image of a Royal Mail postbox. You should know that postboxes exist, and they aren't part of the post office, and people use them every day to send letters and small parcels. Maybe you're the one that's lying to me. Regards, Richard Jordan. And so Dr. Duke Green said, Dear Roland, the Lloyds Bank is very sorry for your thinking. We are sincerely sorry for you. So I just said, what does that mean? When are my funds arriving? And so they came back to me with, the Lloyds Bank today, Monday, having programmed your fund for final transfer, waited for your fund service charge payment for 3 days, no response from you. Hence the bank cannot transfer without payment of service charge, will cancel and suspend your fund on Tuesday 7th September 2022 for non-compliance. Regards, Dr. Duke Green, Financial Reporting Council of Britain. And so I had another important question. How can it be suspended on a date that does not exist? Tuesday is the 6th and Wednesday is the 7th. And they got back to me telling me it was a typo error. Your fund must be cancelled by tomorrow 6th. Okay? And I had to ask, how have I not been compliant? I already sent the payment. What more do you want from me? And they came back to me with, Attention, Mr. Richard. You have not paid the service charge of your fund transfer. If you insist you paid, where did you pay the money and which account or Bitcoin wallet? Where are receipt of payment? Mr. Roland, stop deceiving yourself. Go and pay the fee. Without payment after tomorrow, your fund as programmed will be cancelled. They're still for you. And that was the last I heard of Dr. Duke Green, and I really thought that this would be the end of the scam. But interestingly, another email contacted me. And this was purporting to be from Financial Reporting Council Britain, which is not a thing. Attention, Mr. Roland! We are the British Financial Reporting Council in UK, and we monitor all incoming and every outgoing fund in UK. We receive information from Lloyds Bank on the return and withdrawal of your fund ready for transfer. Upon receipt of such report, we told the bank to hold on until we investigate and communicate you for the fact. Do urgently communicate us and tell us what really went on between you and the bank, and also inform us what is delaying your transfer. Your reply of this message should reach this office within 24 hours upon receipt. We wait for your immediate response. Yours sincerely, Mr. Dean Gary. And so I decided to tell Mr. Dean Gary what had actually happened. Dear Mr. Dean Gary, I put the £2,500 notes in an envelope and mailed it to Dr. Duke Green, writing the Bitcoin address on it that he provided. Then he started accusing me of all sorts of things. I imagine it arrived to him by now. And so they came back to me with, Dear Mr. Roland, please, we are here for solution, not to play. And you mean you send the fee to Lloyds Bank on mail, and they gave your Bitcoin wallet address to send the fee? Does it mean you don't know what Bitcoin payment is? And which address did you send it? Because Bitcoin wallet address is not a home address. It is a Bitcoin wallet account for fast payment and confirmation. Which address did you send it? No mail address in UK will accept money on an envelope, more so without a deserved home address. Let us know what we can do for you, or you can write Dr. Duke Green for solution, either to cut the fee for you to pay because you have not paid the fee. Please keep us posted for help. Looking forward to hearing from you. Yours faithfully, Mr. Dean Gary. So I decided to respond. Dear Mr. Dean Gary, I am not playing. I put the money in an envelope and I put it in a post box. Post boxes are not part of the post office. They are separate things that postmen go into to collect post from so they can mail it to people. Why am I having to explain this to a member of the Financial Reporting Council of Britain? It's like I'm having to explain things to little children. How am I supposed to know that a bits of coin wallet address isn't a home address? I thought it was a PO box or something like that. Do you doubt Royal Mail's ability to deliver it to Dr. Duke Green? This has been going on for weeks now. Please come up with a solution. I don't want to have to explain what postboxes are to either you or Dr. Duke Green ever again. They came back to me that honestly, there is much doubt of what you said, because the Bitcoin wallet address is not a house address even as you see it. In the whole world, no one can look at such and think of as a house address. We communicated Royal Mail to know the date given by Lloyds Bank to us. The Royal Mail made it clear that nothing of such transaction went on, and that Royal Mail cannot accept such mail that has no specific address. Also, that Bitcoin wallet address can't be used as house address. We have gone far to investigate this, but no money was sent, and more so, Royal Mail can't stay more than working 2 days without delivery or return back. We did all these to make sure you don't lose your money, having found out that you did not pay the fee to the bank, and they are threatening to cancel your fund through their report. So we ask you, are you ready to pay the fee to the bank so that upon their confirmation we will advise them to immediately transfer your fund under our observation? Keep us notified so as to advise them to hold on your fund pending the date you will pay. We wait your urgent response. And so I decided to say, personally I think Lloyds Bank should pay my fund as I have already sent the money. I have not had my envelope returned to me, so I assume it has been delivered. Maybe Dr. Duke Green is lying to you to try and get more money out of me. Why does he have a doctorate anyway if he's a higher ranking member of the bank? Please look into this. I think he's lining his pockets and claiming he hasn't received money as a way to scam people. And so Mr. Dean Gary said, Attention, Mr. Rowland. It is unfortunate this is coming from you when you know that you are lying, even to this office, Financial Reporting Council. The bank gave you account to pay the fee. You lied to them on your way to pay. You received a message that the account was bad. Your first lie. Second lie. They gave you a Bitcoin wallet address to pay the fee. You are still lying that you sent the money on mail through Royal Mail, to which address you can't answer. A big lie! This office made call to Royal Mail to inquire on the date you said as given to us by Lloyds Bank. No such transaction, and Royal Mail can never accept such mail without address. This is the worst lie from you! Are you calling on Dr. Duke Green? You're putting yourself in trouble, because you're lying against a man so educated without blame. Listen, we have your address. If you insist on this lie, we will involve Royal Mail and Dr. Duke to the federal authority and come to your house for a proof, and possibly take the matter to court so that you'll come out and prove your case. If you fail to tell us the truth for a solution, we wait for your response. And so I decided to draw matters to a close. Dear Mr. Dean Ferry, I am not lying. Go ahead and send Royal Mail, Dr. Duke, and the federal authority to my place. I'm perfectly happy to dispute this in court. Regards, Richard Jordan. I honestly thought I'd backed the scammers into an impossible corner, but they responded with one final email. Dear Sir, don't worry, we are waiting for the Queen's burial. Regards, Dean Gary. And so that was a bit of a fun adventure in scam baiting. I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more videos in future.